Welcome back, beautiful beings. Today we're finishing up pockets and using up some scraps. Okay, this one's going to be simple. I got this trim pack. It's Easter, but I'm just using this. I want some of this. I want to try it out. So I'm just going to put some of this down here. Pom-pom trim. Figure out which way it goes. I hope everyone is well and good. But I just want to put some of this here on the side. Why not? So I'm going to cut that off there. Then I have this lace that looks like I started dyeing it. I dyed a piece and it must have got on this piece. But I just want to put this along the bottom. Here. Then I can put this pocket in the journal. And that one's done. Now I can put it in one of my pocket files. It's going to go right here in this pocket file. Corner pocket over there. I'll probably make it over here because of this. Let's flip this over and make sure that's good. It is. But that's where that's going to go. I'll probably put it over there. Now I want to show you scraps. Right? This is just an example scrap. What I did is I cut around the honeycomb. Okay, and what I did here is I put this in here, this pocket. I put the pocket in, but I glued the wrong part. Okay, so I had to rip it out, and of course it ripped that. Okay, so I want to show you how I'm going to cover that up with this piece of scrap. All I did, here, let me show you on this piece of scrap. All I did was cut out the honeycombs that I wanted, like so. I went around the whole thing like that and came up with this shape to just set in there and glue down, and boom, we covered up the mistake. Okay, but I'm going to take some Studio, and this doesn't show up very good, so that's why I'm inking it up. I'm just going to put this around the edges on here. I just go around things that I like. I want gold on with this because it does take away the white. It doesn't show up very good, but it takes away the white. Yeah, I got lost for a whole day. I was going through pictures. I was organizing in my storage room, and I have, like, when my brother crossed over, he laminated quans and quans of old pictures of the relatives, of my ancestors, of everything, and he must have spent at least $1,000. I don't know, he went nuts. But I'm glad he laminated, like, on my dad's side and my mom's side, what pictures she had. But on my dad's side, we had really old pictures going back to early 1900s. So I might show them to you sometime, but my mom had me when she was 42, and I think my dad was like 48, something like that. So I really didn't know my grandparents, but the pictures are like phenomenal. There's pictures of my great-grandparents, my grandparents that I never knew, all kinds of good stuff. Aunts and uncles and people that I really didn't know because they had me so late in life. But I got lost in that, organizing them, putting them together, and it was just crazy. And it was like a whole day I went through doing that. It was just crazy. It was awesome, but kind of crazy, and I really wish I would have known them. I really do. Okay, beautiful beings. I put glue on here, Elena's. So I'm going to very, very carefully turn this. Make sure there's no glue on my fingers. And I'm going to stick that right under here on the part that's ripped. And make sure it's down really good so when someone tucks something in there, it doesn't get stuck on it. Okay? Just like that. I think I wanted it moved down a little bit more. Just moving it down where the glue won't catch. And that's a good way to use your scraps to cover up any mistakes. Okay? Okay, beautiful beings. This is a leftover piece of scrap from cardboard from using the whole page. And I'm going to use this one on this one right here. And as you can see, I cut all the edges. I circled them with a corner punch. So I'm just going to do that before I begin. And then we're going to take scrap and glue it down. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I just know I want to use all this scrap up. This is scrap from our making our pocket files. Okay, so we're going to use some Mod Podge and glue these down. Not going in any particular order, I'm just gluing them down to get rid of them. And then I'll figure it out after I'm done, what I'm going to do with it. Because I have no idea, beautiful beings. Just getting rid of the scrap. So I'm going to let that start drying. And when that's drying, I got this card with a flower on it. All I did was glue it on a piece of scrap cardboard. I'm going to cut this off. Then I found, make sure this isn't gluing to the paper. I found some scraps from my die cuts I saved because they had bees on them. I used them a long time ago. I didn't even know I had this until I was going through some stuff. So I want to glue this down. And I picked Distress Bundle Stage. Distress Oxide Ranger Bundle Stage. So I'm just going to go around this. But I kind of want that, I think this one here, like right there. And I want this one here. So I'm going to glue those down. I'm going to try to make sure it's right on the edge. And this is starting to curl up, so I'm going to bend it back just a little bit. Set this right like that. Here. Alright, now this one here, I want something like right here. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna put in there. I have little strips. I also had a, what did I do? I didn't bring it down. I think I did. I have little scraps. These are ones that are too small. Just little, these are all little tiny scraps left over from my die cuts. I figured I could put them in stuff. They're just things that were like cut out from a die cut that weren't from the die cut, if that makes any sense. If that makes any sense. I want something there. I don't want that shape. Maybe something square. Those are all same shape. I have this. I could stick in there. Just trying to find a piece. Sewing machine. These are all leftovers too from die cuts. They're like the middle of the die cut or something. But I had washi tape. I'm gonna have to go find it. I don't want flowers because we already have flowers. I don't know, I like that or that. No ice cream, no flowers, no cars, no pins. That writing would be sideways. I like that too. So we have like 3 different things we can use. But I gotta go find that washi tape because there was a word I wanted to use. Okay, beautiful things. Let's get this out of the way. I have this washi tape from Park Lane. I got it on clearance. I paid less than that for it. But sunshine, I like that word. I like that word sunshine. So what would that pop on? I kind of like this, but I don't. It's either this one. Let's go with that one. So I'm going to turn this upside down. Set it there a minute. Put this where I want it. I want it off here where I cut. But I don't want to cut the B. It looks like I might have to cut the B. But I want this like right there. Something like that. So I'm going to put glue down on this. I want this underneath, so I'm going to have to... I want this. One of those B's is going to get cut off, so I'm just going to go with the lower one, I think. I'm going to set that in there. That. Out there. Straight. I'm going to take this sunshine. I'm going to rip this end. Just want the sunshine. And I might rip the edges too. Glue on this. Just a little bit. There you go. I'm going to wipe my hand and then center this to where I wanted it. Like here. So it's going to be like that. And then I want this where you can see the S. So the S isn't. I gotta pull it out. I think that was too much. I get it just right, beautiful beings. Let's see. Is that good? Yes. Put that down there. Then we're gonna glue this down and see where we have to cut it off. Right there. I could even move it over more. Just so I don't cut this part of the bees off. So I guess I could move that over. That's right. That's all right. just trying to fill the edge underneath, so I know I'm not going to cut those other bees off. Cut this off there. Ink that up. And then when that dries, I'm going to cut that off. More because you can see through it a little bit. Just using up scraps, beautiful beings. That's all we're doing. And then I have this left over. So I'm going to cut this. And where's that one at? I'm not sure what color. Oh, it's not this one. Which one was it? Was it this one? I think so. Yeah. But I'm gonna make a belly band for down here. So I'm just trying to figure out where I want it glued, but I'm gonna have to go around the edges with some white paint. I'm just gonna stick that right there. This is gonna be glued to that. I'm gonna have a little belly band. So let's measure that. I need to take them off more. And close. There we go. Okay, so let's do this side. Turn it over. I'll probably just use the black side. Okay, so I'm going to put this up on the bend. Put this up so we know where the bend is. And so we can mark this like right there. I just need a little bit cut off. So we're just going to try as straight as we can. Go straight up. And of course I didn't go straight up. It's not working. Is that straight? How's that now? All right, that's good right there. I'm gonna go around it with some white gloss paint around the edges just to give it a little detail. I'm just doing it pick for the effect. So there's something going on besides black. And I'm gonna set this aside to dry. Alright, I've been going back and forth on this. I want to put scraps from my little scrap bin on here. So I'm just gonna go with it. The whole point of this video is to get rid of your scraps, right? So I'm gonna put a little glue here. And then some up here. I want to make sure the word still goes through and sees. But I got this fray from Burlap. I'm going to put that right there. This green one don't want to seem to work with me, but try to get it in the glue so it sticks. And then I have this little piece I'm going to put down. I want to make sure you can see sunshine. Push it up a little bit. Then I'm going to put some glue down for this. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do on this one. I might need a little glue for that green piece of burlap that don't want to stay down. You still see it. See the sunshine. Just getting rid of scraps, beautiful beings. I'm going to zoom you back up. I got my scrap bin out here. Been working, looking for this. This, I cut off this side. I'm going to cut this side off. Rid of these. And probably keep this for something. Probably shouldn't though. I probably shouldn't. I don't want to be a hoarder. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of this. Well, see, I incorporate all this in here. Alright, now we're gonna have this go like that. Because it's going, where is it going? Oh, it's going right there. Right? So I keep that in mind. It's going like that, okay? And I'll probably sew around this, just around the edges when I'm done. You don't have to if you don't have a sewing machine. I'm gonna cut this up too. Fray that just a little bit. I think that's about it on that one. Fray that a little bit. And then I'm just gonna glue pieces down. That. So now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna put on it. I could just leave it the way I want, this way if I wanted to. Where's my fabric scissors? I think I'm gonna let this dry before I cut the edges off. Okay, because I gotta cut that off, snip that off, and a little bit of that maybe. But it's gonna sit like that in my pocket, just like that. It's a corner, right hand upper corner pocket. So we'll put that aside to dry. I have this, and again, I'm putting this in this journal, so and it's got the curved edges, so I want to use my corner punch to cut them off. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully. It's too thick. It's too thick. So I'm going to have to do this after I do that, just to give me an idea of where it's going. I doubt the other one will work. Try it. Let's see if this one works. I'm using the R10 millimeter. Hey, I think it worked. It didn't. It's too thick, beautiful beings. Alright, so I'm just gonna, I can see where it left a mark, so I'm just going to do this. as good as it's gonna get, beautiful beings. I'm gonna take this and just go around the edges. It's that gold Studio G, just to get rid of the white. I could do it with, I could just go around the edges with green too, but I wanted to see if this would do good enough. That needs cut off a little bit still right there. See, it shows up on light colors, but it does not on dark. I think that's good. Especially on the corners. Alright, so we have that. Now we're going to glue it down. And I kind of want to do some of that tulip glitter on the flowers just a tiny bit, just to make them pop a little bit. We're going to do this first. I'm going to mark it where I want it. I want it in the middle. Draw a line on the back. Easiest way to line it up, and then put this on. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, stick that there, like that, flip it over, make sure we move it in the middle where we want it. Just like that. And I'm going to have to set something on it so it stays down, and I'll be back when it dries. Okay, I want to, while that's sitting there, this is almost dry. I want to cut off the ones that are sticking out a lot. And I probably should have done it before I glued down the fabric, but I'm just going to use this and go around the ones you can see. Just want to show you that. I'm just going to take that around here. Then I'm going to go sew it down around the edges. And then we can figure out what we're going to put, else we're going to put on. So I'm going to have to look, see if I can cut bees out. These ones are, I can't really cut because they're half bees. Probably could have tucked them under the fabric or something. Okay, beautiful beings. I cut the bees out. And I very carefully tried to get in there without ripping their legs off. I just cut the bees out of the scrap. Okay. Then went around it with the gold Studio G. Now, I'm going to put some glue on them. That one I tucked in there. That one I'm going to tuck up in there. I really want to sew around it because I think it would just make it look really awesome. We got to be there. Hidden one there. Maybe I should bring him out a little more. Nope. He likes it like there. I'll just be careful when I sew around there. But here's a close-up of that before I sew it. And it's going to sit like this. Move that side and show you. It's going to sit just like that. Okay? He's tucked, and then we got a little bee peeking out right here. Okay? It's not much, but it's just an idea for you to use up your scraps. And if I can find a little saying for it, I will. I'll put that on there. Okay? Okay, beautiful beings. I added some beads. I showed you how to do this in the last video. This one I tied, put some there, and I only put 2 there the opposite way. And then I put some on here, and put some on there. And I just wanted to show you again real quick I'll put a couple more on to show you. Then I'll tie it. I have these beads here I'm using, of course, because they match the bees. Right. And then I'm going to add one more black one on that one. Then I'm going to attempt to tie them together. Okay, so I'm going to tie, hopefully. So I'm going to pick this up so they go that way and don't fall off. And see all these? They're different lengths. So I'm going to make a knot. Got it, but I want it down a little bit more. Then I'm going to do another one. I just want to make sure the beads don't fall off. And this is a great way to make sure our beads aren't going to fall off. And it's a great way to use up your tiny beads. And this one, I should have tied a knot before I did that. Or I could just move them up. They'd probably look better. If I move them up, yep, they'll look better. So I'm going to move the knot up a little bit. I'm thinking on this one, it's longer. I should have tied the knot and then connected them. That way it was hanging down more, but it's fine. I'm going to put one more knot and then cut off the bottom part. I just moved the knot up, beautiful beings, so the beads were tighter together. There we go. Just clipping it. And that's going to go like that. And then that just be hanging like that. Alright, I just wanted to show you that. I'll show you after I glue it in the book. And I wanted to show you this too. I took the tulle or the tulip glitter, and I put it in the flowers. There, and there, just in the flowers. So after all this is dry, I'm going to glue them and then I'll show you. Okay, beautiful beings, I just wanted to give you a close-up. We put a scrap here because it was ripped under here. And then there's our little bee pocket. I only have a couple more to do for this bee journal. Seems like I'm never going to get done with them. Because it's taken forever. And there's that one. I just sewed it in. I think it turned out cute. It's different. I like different. And then finally, at least this one. And remember, it's not going to look like that because you have to stand them all up. And when you store these, make sure you stand them up. Okay? Don't lay them on stuff. Especially if you have a room that's hot. And I put Dwell in Possibilities. It's from Tim Holtz. It's the only thing I could find. Because it was kind of a unique scrap fabric and scrap paper corner, right top corner pocket, and I sewed around it. Okay, beautiful beings. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful everything.